What's the deal, YouTube? What's the deal? We're back at it with another banger today. Today we got another episode of Reddit Exposing Adam22. So before we get into this, drop a like for your boy and show some love. If anything makes you laugh, giggle, resonates with you, shit. If you just want to show some love, drop a sub, baby. It's the beginning of the week. Make sure y'all get y'all's workout in. Make sure y'all get in shape. Y'all feel good. Y'all look good. Y'all can perform good. Let's go. First, right here is the sexual assault allegations against Adam22. Let's click and read this. This is a Pitchfork article. Reddit posted a link. You already know what it is. No Jumper V2 Reddit. Y'all follow that shit. They be posting some bangers in there. Some shit's a little weird. Some people might be hating, but a majority of this shit in there, they got some good content in there. So right here it says sexual assault allegations against Adam22. No Jumper detailed by two women. They share their stories of alleged sexual misconduct and online humiliation by the influential hip-hop tastemaker Adam Grand Mason. That is his full last name, if y'all didn't know, Grand Mason. So before we get into this little article right here, this little background, basically Reddit's exposing him once again, after that house phone situation. They're outing all of his business now. Apparently Adam, he sexually assaulted two women. He raped them. He did some weird stuff with a 16-year-old. Apparently he was phone sexting her when she was 16. Then he flew out to go to Canada to go smash her, and then he came back. He was 23 at the time. That's a 7-year difference there. Some people say, oh no, it's the age limit's different over there, and I don't want to hear that shit. Save that shit. That's weird. It ain't it. It ain't it. Yeah, so let's get into this topic right here. So that's the title of it. It's by Pitchfork. Let's go. This is the first one right here. Okay, so it says last week, Adam Grand Mason, aka Adam22, the founder of the influential hip hop podcast and video series No Jumper, took to Twitter to issue a blanket denial that he had ever sexually or physically assaulted any woman. His statement came after anonymous allegations of sexual misconduct and physical abuse have been circulating on social media platforms. I've done plenty of stupid shit in my life, but I've never raped or hit a woman, Grand Mason tweeted. The accusations drew more scrutiny after Grand Mason announced he was partnering with Atlantic Records to form No Jumper Records, solidifying his status as what Rolling Stone called underground hip-hop major tastemaker. No Jumper, which has more than 1 million YouTube subscribers, helped launch XXXTentacion, Tekashi 69, and Lil Yachty. Now they're at 4 point something, almost 5 million. Times called it Paris review of the face tattoos. Said Pitchfork has now spoken to two women who gave their accounts of alleged sexual, adult, or other misconduct by Grand Mason. He declined to comment for this story at the request of his lawyer. An Atlantic Records spokesman told Pitchfork, "We take any allegations of this nature very seriously and are looking into them." That's why, aka, he got dropped. They took it serious and they dropped his ass. The first of the two women commented to Pitchfork under the damn. I don't even know that word. I'm gonna keep it G with you. God damn, what is that word? Oh man, I ain't gonna say it. Jane, due to the fear of retaliation, a series of emails and over the phone, she detailed her story, which began when she first met Grand Mason in 2005. They both posted on the same message boards. One day they made plans to get together in Manhattan, and Jane ended up taking the subway with him back to his apartment in Queens. So as of right now, like I'm saying, I'm not gonna believe any female, because I know damn well a lot of females just be saying shit. They be trying to put smut on your name if they're mad at you at anything. So I'm gonna just say, if he did it, he did it. If he didn't, I mean, hey, this girl's a piece of shit for trying to expose him to make it seem like he did. Got me making a video on him and shit. But yeah, but like I'm saying, these are just accusations. I'm not saying he did it until he's charged with it, but these are some pretty strong accusations. Back to his apartment in Queens, where he made advances. At first, I was okay with it, but quickly became uncomfortable as he went further, and then I wanted to go, Jane said. I told him I wasn't into it, but he didn't stop and became pretty angry. Meanwhile, I'm not a big girl. I'm 5'4". Adam is well over 6 foot, and pretty big guy. I was terrified and froze while he had sex with my basically lifeless body. I was too afraid to fight back in fear that he would hurt me, so I just lay there in terror. I just remember staring out of the window and praying it to be over soon. It's usually what a lot of victims say. Story has some credibility so far. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of victims be saying some stuff like that. She went on. Eventually, he stopped. I changed and immediately left. I remember waiting in the subway, sobbing, thinking I should have fought back. I should have gotten out of there. I felt guilty, violated, and scared. She said she confided in one person who I thought I trusted about the alleged assault, but did not go to the police. See, that's a red flag. You gotta go to the police. If that ever happens to anybody out there, whatever it may be, shit, it might be happening to people soon. Next day, whatever. Y'all need to be hitting police immediately. Oh man, I'm getting messages. You know what I'm talking about? You need to be hitting the police. You need to be doing all different type. You don't need to be telling random people and tell the police. They need to get fucking took to jail because that could be happening to the next person. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is why a lot of the times I don't believe some people when they say it, because like, bro, you need if that's happening to, if I was a female that happened to me, going straight to police. We locking this motherfucker up. I don't care about how they. I didn't choose to be that happened to me. So it's like, nah, hell no. Y'all need to go to police. Uh, for reasons I still do not understand, he told Adam. Jane said Adam immediately took to the public forum where we both or were both members of and plastered my supposed lie all over it. She was mortified and humiliated. She said, I never mentioned the event to anyone again. After that, in fear of being called the liar, uh, worse, blame for what? Okay, next one. Blame for what happened. I didn't feel safe telling anyone my story. I just wanted to erase it. Several years later, in 2009, Graham Mason wrote a blog post titled "The Time a Girl Accused Me of," which Pitchfork has reviewed through archives.org. He included photos of Jane as well as her first name. He also discussed confronting her on the message boards about her account of the situation and described in graphic terms having sexual intercourse with her, which he maintained was consensual. She was letting me touch all over her and was making out with me the whole time, but she didn't seem she was really enjoying it all that much. Graham Mason wrote about Jane in the 1800 word post how much women enjoy sexual activity and usually not highly, what does it say, correlated, what the fuck does that word say? I don't know, correlated to how much fun he was having, although she didn't give it much thought. That right there should be a red flag. If a girl's not into you, even if you're busting moves on her, whatever it may be, she ain't into you, bro. You gotta pack it up and get out of there. Quit doing that weirdo, still trying to force it in there, bro. You got no game. That lets me know you got no game, homie. No game. He concluded, for most men, being falsely accused of rape is a horrible experience that can ruin their reputation, cost them thousands in legal fees, and many land them in jail. But for me, I would have to say that it was overall a very positive experience. Viva, it was a fake. That's crazy to say. Okay, the second woman came forward, asked, oh, there's two women. Okay. The second woman to come forward and asked to be identified only as D over multiple phone conversations. Told Pitchfork the story of her relationship with Graham Mason. She said they met through the same message boards in 2006. So they were both, was 16. Both D and Graham Mason maintained that nothing physical happened and that time nor did they meet in person. And they stopped talking when he began seeing someone else 3 years later. D had what is it? What's the next one? D met okay. Got in a relationship when he heard from Graham Mason again. She said he booked her flight to see him in New York, but first around June 2009, he flew her to her hometown in Vancouver. D met Graham Mason at the airport and they had dinner. They then went back to her mother's house where she lived and watched The Office. D told Pitchfork that although she had wanted to kiss him, she had wanted to have sex with him that night. I was like, no, just stop. She said, I was pushing him off me and my hands were pushing him, really just barricading my vagina with my hands. Like, no, don't go there. Don't put your fingers there. Don't go anywhere there. I don't want that. And then he's 6'4". I'm like 5'3", and I was 120 pounds. He had easily 100 pounds over her. That is insane. I mean, if they don't say no, I don't know what the heck. Like, I'm telling you, bro, this guy is weird. As weird. I'm not, these are accusations, but god damn. Okay, when someone is that big, they have the ability to grab both your wrists with one in their hand and pull your arms over your head. You can't do anything, D said. And if you try, it'll just get worse and more painful. What are you supposed to do? That sounds crazy. She told Pitchfork that Grand Mason asked her afterwards why she was so upset. I was like, dude, I told you I wanted to wait. She recalled, you knew what, you knew this was special to me, and I wanted to wait. That's crazy. Um, why did you do that? She said she told her to keep what had happened a secret between both of them, and that he'd mentioned that he was still getting lots of heat over Jane. I guess over Jane. I was terrified. Okay, D didn't go to the police. No, see, why you need to go to the police? Come on, bro, you got to go to the police. No one understands why people never went to the cops, she said. But when you were into that moment, your first reaction is not, oh, fucks, let me go to the cops. My first reaction was like, my mom was never going to trust me again. Whoa, it sounds crazy if that's be your first thought. Never trust me again. She said she remembered being frightened that her mother would find blood on her sheets. D says she put on step forward wife's kind of act. I don't know what that means. She put on a step forward wife's kind of. I don't know what that means. The rest of Graham Mason's trip, and the August 2009, she flew to visit him in New York. You have to understand that every single one of these decisions was made based off of fear. She told Pitchfork. See, this is why. Once again, I don't know. That don't sound like it's strong accusations. Then some things sound strong, some things don't. Because why would you want to go back to him if he did that? I don't know. Follow relationship in January 2010, Graham Mason wrote the first several blog posts about Dee, totaling almost 9,000 words. The post described many of the same events in Dee's accounts. One night, Graham Mason arrived to visit her in Vancouver. He wrote that they only cuddled because she was still pretending to not want to bang. And Dee's description, and this is the same night that the alleged assault took place. In the blog post, Graham Mason also acknowledged publishing Dee's full name. He wrote, "She's been harassing me and asking me to remove the original entry. Sorry, no dice. But I removed her last name from the initial entry and didn't include it in this one." So he didn't want to take it off, and she was saying, "Take it off, bro. Come on, bro." The post contained more than a dozen photographs of Dee, many semi-nude. Okay, see, that's where you got to draw the line. At that point, you got to get chalked out. You could tell the story if you wanted to, whatever you did, but you posting pictures of this girl semi-nude, bro. I don't think she had older brothers, because the older brothers would have definitely handled your ass. I'm going to keep it G with you. The photos were taken when she was 14. What the hell? What? When she was 14, and two others when she was 17. Dee told Pitchfork, a longtime friend of Dee's who asked to remain anonymous out of fear of retaliation, told Pitchfork via email that she remembers seeing one of the photos at her own 17th birthday party. What the hell? When Dee was still 14, the post also contained extremely graphic descriptions of sex acts involving Dee and Graham Mason after she was of age. Earlier this week, in an interview with DJ Academics, Graham Mason discussed these accusations when Academic asked if there are other people who claim them. Graham Mason replied, "Not that I know of." He didn't mention Jane or his blog post about her. That is crazy. A woman who used to date Graham Mason, who asked to be identified only as, "Oh, what's up with these girls giving these just, call me D." Like, bro, she says she still remember Graham Mason bullied Jane on the messaging board. He made a threat about the whole situation. She told Pitchfork over the phone 4 of the people confirmed to Pitchfork that Dee spoke about them in an alleged sexual assault several years ago or more. Jane told Pitchfork she is speaking out now because Dee reached out telling me that something similar had happened to her, and she never stopped thinking of me, and what I went through. So I guess this other girl saying she wanted to come out about this too because she heard the other girl come out about the story. So she said, you know what? Maybe she felt stronger, and she was like, I'm not in here by myself, and she exposed it. I don't know, but you still need to go to police the moment that happens. Don't be waiting 10 years, because then this doesn't look credible. I don't know, man. If you're gonna, 10 years later, you can't be waiting. Right? You gotta do it immediately. Immediately. That means he's possibly did this to a bunch of other people, and you could have stopped it, but you didn't. D says she decided to come. Oh yeah. Wait, did I read it already? Okay, D says she decided to come forward after a friend showed her tweets that had been circulating for months about her relationship with Grand Mason. I have nothing to gain from this, she told Pitchfork. I just want justice. If you wanted justice, you should have been. I don't know. That's what makes me think you want clout. Because if you wanted justice, you should have been told it a long time ago. But then again, I don't know. I'm not in that person's shoes. I don't know. Okay, so I guess what is that the end of that one? I guess that's the end of that right there. So that's why she didn't want to talk about it. I don't know. She just wanted justice apparently. But this is his statement that he wrote after this. After this, all this aired out, he wrote a statement on Twitter, and this is Adam's statement. Okay. My lawyer says that I gotta stop talking on Twitter, but I just wanted to get this out. A girl I dated a few months ago, 10 years ago, is coming out. Dated for a few months, 10 years ago, is coming out saying that I raped and assaulted her. These claims are new. She has no evidence. I have plenty of emails from her last that make it clear. From plenty of emails to make it clear how absurd these claims are. You'll probably get to read them all in no time. I've done plenty of stupid shit in my life, but I've never or hit a woman that's cap. That's cap because on the last exposing I did, he was choking a woman in the back seat because she was screaming at him and he was mad at her. He wrote about it, and apparently the friends had to break it up because he was strangling her in the back of the seat of a car. That's cap. Saying you never hit a woman, that's cap, because you even apologized saying that you did do it and you would never do it again because you're a changed man. Cap. I've always been a person who relentlessly documented my life on the internet since I was 15 years old. I grew up on here, and I know how this works. I knew someday the mob would come for me. I could have stayed a small BMX blogger and had never gone through this, but instead I went out and built No Jumper into what it is today. Though I knew eventually the story or a bad joke I wrote over the past 20 years ago would be used against me. I didn't know a woman from my past would fabricate stories, but I'm ready to face those and head on to. That sounds like a cop out. I don't know. Man, I don't know. My mission with No Jumper is to cover new and emerging artists and give them the voice. This isn't going to change no matter what happens in the result of all this. Thanks so much, an amazing girlfriend, to all my friends and everyone who reached out and privacy social support. Well, he's right. Nothing stopped after all these allegations came out. I think he either paid them off. It's either two things. Either he paid them off and he's just rolling with it, or these accusations are fake. I don't know, because for these girls to want to wait all these years later and come out of nowhere, like, you should have been said that. You should have been said that. You don't want to wait. Why do you want justice now? Why didn't you want justice back then? I have no idea. That's the only part that makes it sketchy. If they did go back then and nothing happened out of it, then it's a totally different situation. But for them to come out 10 years later, he's still sketchy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know yet. We'll see what he got to say about these allegations. What do y'all think about this? Let me know what y'all think about it. Yeah, Reddit ain't letting him go. Reddit's on his ass. They're letting him have it. I mean, honestly, me right here, I think that he's sheesh. I ain't gonna make no comment. I gotta see what he does. I do think fuck that. I won't make a comment. I think he's guilty. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do think he's a little guilty, bro. I mean, unless he can prove it. Otherwise, like I said, I'm not saying these are just accusations, that they're saying on here. I'm not saying this guy's this guy's that, but proof is in the pudding. I don't know. Y'all saw what I just read. This was on Pitchfork. This wasn't no made up. Oh no. Oh man, these are just he say she say things. Nah, they did a little paper on this on Pitchfork. Do what you gotta do. Let me know what y'all think. Drop in the comment box below. Y'all still messing with Adam22 after this? Do y'all think that they made it up? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment box below. Holla back at your boy.